Have you noticed that no one seems to have an original opinion anymore? Like, are we still thinking? Or are we just reacting fast enough to stay relevant? Every single take that I hear online seems like a remix of a remix of a remix. And the more I think about it, the more I wonder if we're all just stuck in a loop of performing opinions, not forming them. If you're new here, hey, I'm Slissa Jervils, and over here we like to question everything, especially the polarizing figures and companies who shape our world. If that seems like your vibe, then like and subscribe. We're living in a time where having a take is a form of currency. You can't just witness something online. You have to respond. You have to say something smart or funny or morally superior, and preferably within 30 seconds of it trending. If you're not reacting, you're irrelevant. And if you're not right, you're canceled. So what do? We rush to say something, anything, just to stay in the game. We've replaced, let me think about it, with how do I say something that sounds like I already know everything about this topic? And that's not thinking, that's branding. Most of the opinions you see online are not even original in themselves. They're recycled, repackaged, and optimized for engagement. We watch a TikTok, read a tweet, see a hot take, and instead of asking ourselves what do we think, we go, yeah, that sounds right, and I'll just say it louder. But can you blame us? Being nuanced online is a liability.
Because we live in an era where an algorithm is showing all of us exactly what we want to hear and things that we already agree with all of the time, where there's a strong bias for shorter videos because the TikTok algorithm prioritizes the number of people that watch your videos all the way through, and especially where people are convinced that apologizing is just the worst thing they could possibly do. I've been thinking a lot about how for a large subset of Americans, it actually seems to be worse to be called out on doing harm and have to apologize than it is to do the harm in the first place. They are more worried and scared of having to apologize than they are worried and scared of potentially causing harm. And I've been thinking about it because when I misspeak on this app, I really try to address it quickly and post an apology video. Like, I don't apologize when I don't think that I've done anything wrong, but I also don't think that I've never done anything wrong in my entire life. And there's usually pretty good discussion in the comments section. I learned something, and I think the people that are following along at home hopefully learned something too. And then we move on. And everybody's learned something. It did not cause me any harm other than having to grapple with the unpleasant feeling of realizing that I maybe said the wrong thing, which is harm that I caused myself by saying the wrong thing. And then it's done, we move on. But so often I see in apology videos on TikTok or other social media, people in the comments being like, you have nothing to apologize for, queen. When the creator is like, no, I actually do think I have something to apologize for. It feels so rooted in the commenter not wanting to have to apologize for anything ever either. And I haven't totally figured out where this comes from yet. I know some of it is this fear of cancellation, but anytime somebody says, oh, people are really scared of being canceled, I kind of want to look back at what people have been canceled for. The vast majority of the people that they point to still have thriving careers, and even the ones that don't, they're usually canceled for saying like aggressively racist or misogynistic things. Are you worried that that's going to happen to you? Are you saying aggressively racist and misogynistic things? And I guess there's this perception of, well, maybe these people don't know if what they're saying has crossed the line into cancellation. But I'm so curious about why the response to that is then to, instead of learning where the line is and educating oneself, to double down and say, I'm never ever going to apologize for anything ever. I think it has a lot to do with lack of nuance and online discourse and this overwhelming fear of the emotion of shame, which is something I've been thinking a ton about and I'm about to do a series on. How many Americans, white Americans in particular, men in particular, view the emotion of shame as absolutely intolerable, like the worst thing that could possibly happen to them. And I do think that a huge part of this too is that we don't have nuance in our discussions, and so people are worried that what they're actually intending is not going to come across ever.
You get dragged for being neutral, confused, or problematic by association. So we pick a side that sounds safe and we just say it louder than the last person. It's not about truth, it's about belonging. And suddenly we're not forming opinions, we're selecting pre-approved scripts from our chosen internet bubble. Now here's where it gets even messier. Even the hot takes, the ones that seem bold and rebellious, are often just another performance. Trying to be the one person with an edgy opinion is still about attention.
Hey, I'm just trying to make my nut, man.
It's not necessarily about truth, it's about being memorable. And if you're someone who's been on the internet for a long time, like chronically online, you start to lose track of what you actually believe. You second guess your gut reaction. You ask yourself, do I think this because it's true? or because I've built a whole personality around having hot takes. So where does this leave us? Exhausted, suspicious of ourselves, scared to say something stupid, but also tired of saying something just to say something.
This is why everyone's content is starting to look the same. Social media has killed critical thinking skills. I seriously feel like speaking with critical thinking skills is the same thing as speaking in Latin. It's a dead language. And I have a theory about this, and I think it all comes down to social media because everyone is focused on going viral. We live in a world where everyone is focused on what's trending and what's viral. And how do you know what's going to go viral? Well, most people base it on what's already going viral, what's trending. There was a time where everyone's content was different. Like, I followed so many different creators because they were all different. They all had like a niche kind of thing. Now everybody has the same niche. It's not a niche anymore. So I think what's happened is now we live in a world where people are basically copying and pasting any kind of content that is doing well, that is somewhat similar to what they're doing. I mean, there are complete accounts on here that post like ideas for going viral with this trending sound. This is what people are doing. Customize it to fit your niche. Critical thinking requires originality, and we are killing off originality slowly but surely. Also, so many studies that have proven that we don't really know a difference. Our brains don't know a difference between seeing something that's attractive to us and seeing something that's just simply familiar to us and thinking that it's attractive, but really it's just that it's familiar. So you take all of that, you put it on social media, you have people wanting to go viral, wanting to be trending, wanting to copy the people that are trending, that are viral, and then they're just regurgitating the same kind of content, the same kind of sentiments. Now we have no originality. And then when somebody pops up with something that requires nuance or is not black and white thinking, requires a little bit of critical thinking skills, we don't really have those collectively anymore. And people come at these creators that just offer a different perspective on something. To be able to thrive in the real world, not on social media, in the real world, you have to be comfortable being uncomfortable, which means you have to be comfortable challenging yourself. You have to be comfortable stretching your mind. You have to be comfortable being met with adversity. You have to be comfortable looking at the world in a more nuanced way. I just want to say this as an encouragement to be authentic. Do not minimize yourself for the sake of going viral or trending. Just simply be yourself. Living in a world with such a lack of critical thinking is going to have severe detriments to everyone. I promise you, you don't want to live in that world. Expand your creative thinking skill.
You don't have to react to everything. You don't have to brand your thoughts. And you don't have to be right all the time, or even be heard all the time. It's okay to pause, to sit with uncertainty, to change your mind, and to be quiet and curious instead of clever and reactive. It's not weakness, it's being human. We weren't built to process a million opinions a day. We weren't built to broadcast our every reaction like a press release. And yet, here we are, trying to be human in a space that rewards us for being content machines. As always, I want to end it with a question to you guys. Have you ever caught yourself performing a belief that you're not even sure you held? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, stay curious, stay skeptical, and question everything, even me.